Did you see that? Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today we are playing with one of my favorite cards from the most recent set. Today we play with Egrix, the Bile Bulwark, also known as Gwenom in Paper Magic. Egrix is a 3 colorless 2 black for a 4/4 with Death Touch and Lifelink, and whenever Egrix attacks until the end of the turn, you may look at the top card of your library at any time and you may play cards from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. So Egrix, when Egrix attacks, has the exact same ability as a Bolas's Citadel. So it's kind of like a new Citadel, a card that can gain you life, and then you can also cast spells. Pretty powerful. It's one of my favorite cards of the set. So what have we built around this? We focused on a deck that has a lot of ways to give Egrix haste, such as Crashing Drawbridge, Swiftfoot Boots, as well as the new to Arena card Lightning Greaves. So all these ways will help Egrix gain haste in order to be able to cast your spells off the top of your library quickly. We just have a very good mono black shell, a lot of really good value cards, such as Gristlebrand can help you draw cards, Wormcoil Engine gains you life. We have several planeswalkers like Vraska, Professor Onyx, etc. And then we also have some cards that I don't always play in mono black shells but are good in this one, such as Witch of the Moors, which allows you to make your opponent sacrifice creatures if you gain life, such as with Egrix. And then also a very classic combo of having Aetherflux Reservoir, which gains you life with every spell, using that with either Egrix or the actual Bolas's Citadel. So let us take Egrix, the Bile Bulwark, into the queue and see if the new Citadel will bring us victory. Let's go! Our very first game is against Rofellos, Llanowar Emissary. This hand is good, except there's no removal. So I'm gonna have to get that gone. This hand is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. We'll try it. Rofellos is basically an elf where very powerful elf actually, where you can tap him to get as much mana as you have forests on the battlefield. Let's get out the Bale Merc here. And we'll take back the Vraska. We desperately need a land. Okay, opponent gets out Rofellos. We're gonna get out a Cavern of Souls, and we're going to say Spider. And I'm gonna have to kill Rofellos here, so let's just go for the throat him. Overlord ticks up. I am a little nervous about what he's going to do. Okay, he's going to harrow and get some more lands. Our opponent is ramping hardcore here. He's got 5 lands on the battlefield already. Allosaurus Shepherd. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go for the Worn Power Stone here. We're going to do some of our own ramp. Not quite as good as Mono Green at it, but still. We could get out the Citadel. Okay, but I really want to kill Rofellos off. Opponent hits us for 1. We're just going to have to hope he doesn't have a protection spell for Rofellos here. Because if Rofellos stays alive, then he's going to have so much mana. Okay, let's crack the Bloodstained Mire. I think this is probably the best swamp, don't you? Let's go ahead and get out Vraska. Can we get out Vraska and something else? 3, 4, 5. We could get out Vraska and the Gifted Etherborn, which I'm going to do. And we're going to try to get rid of Rofellos here. And let's get out a Gifted Etherborn. Opponent does still have a ton of mana here. He's got like 8 mana. So he could cast probably most of the things he has. Kind of scary. Gonna cast Finale of Devastation for 6. What could he get for 6? Primeval Titan? Something like that. Ha! Did I call it or did I call it? Primeval Titan. Okay. You want to attack with your Allosaurus Shepherd, opponent? You should. Be a really good move. Okay, let's see. Let's tick up with Vraska first. We'll proliferate. We don't want to add another token onto the Overlord here. I'm going to go ahead and kill off the Primeval Titan. Let's go ahead and get out the Unstoppable Slasher and attack in with the Gifted Etherborn. We now have the Overlord on the battlefield. Okay, our opponent has the Great Henge. Yikes. That's pretty good. And El Damri. I always mispronounce that. Okay, so this is our turn. I'm gonna go ahead and I shouldn't have put down that land. That was a bad move on my part. Oops. Yep, and I'm gonna pay for it too. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And of course we have another land on top. But we can use the Overlord and the Unstoppable Slasher here. We'll get back Liliana. Okay, let's go ahead and get out a Witch of the Moors. Really made a mistake by putting a land down there. That was a misplay on my part. Opponent's going to look for a card. Probably Crater Hoof would be my guess. Or, oh, Ulamogs, sure. Yeah. Of course. Well, that's a problem. And Bayamu, sure. Why not? What are you going to pick, opponent? He's going to get rid of Vraska, huh? That's actually a pretty good move on his part. I think what we need here is probably a toxic deluge, something like that. Well, let's see. There's a swamp. The one ring will protect us, so let's go for that. Let's go ahead and draw another card here. Oh, we got Gary. Sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and get out the Bloodletter. And then let's go ahead and get out Liliana. Then let's go ahead and get out Gary.
Let's make this quick.
Did you see that? He had out 2 Ulamogs, a Bahamut, and we still crushed him. The reason why we were able to win is because we had the Bloodletter of Aklasats on the battlefield, which doubles the amount of damage that your opponent takes. So when Gary, the Gray Merchant, came out with all of those Devotion of Black on the battlefield, it just dealt way too much damage to him. So that was a really good first game. Even though we didn't use our commander, the power of our commander's ability and Bolas's Citadel to cast cards off the top of our deck really won us that game. So good game. Next game is against Slimefoot and Squee, so a Reanimator type deck. This hand is okay. It's a little slow, but we'll try it. We do have some ramp, and we do have a haste enabler for Egrix. We can get rid of a Llanowar Elf or a Delighted Halfling, something like that. I wish we had a little bit more, but we'll make do with this. This is not horrible. Slimefoot and Squee basically is a 3/3 where he makes Saprolings when he comes onto the battlefield, and you can sacrifice a Saproling to return. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of his ramp creature here. You can sacrifice a Sapling to return Slimefoot and Squee from the graveyard as well as another creature. So this is kind of like a reanimation type deck. Go ahead and kill off the Hierarch here. We definitely don't want him to have that. Slow him down. We're fighting a real-life doctor who apparently is going really slow. Opponent puts down a tapped land. Go ahead and ramp here with the Terminus. It's a shame we can't get out the Preacher and... Okay, so he's got a Bombardier. He's gonna swing and hit us for 2. Perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and get out our Lightning Greaves because I want a haste enabler. If we can just get out Egrix and keep him alive to swing in, that would be amazing. Okay, we're going to get our chance. Bombardier swings in. Let's go ahead, put down a swamp. Let's get out Egrix. Let's go ahead and put on our Lightning Greaves for haste. Well, that was lucky, wasn't it? For our opponent. Having the one card that you can cast spells for free. Congrats on your luckiness there. All right. Let's get a swamp. Let's we're gonna have to play defense here a little bit. Let's go ahead and get out the Preacher as well as Gifted Etherborn. Let's put the Greaves on the Preacher. Let's swing in with the Preacher here. Minsk and Boo. This is a very interesting build for Slimefoot and Squee. I will give him credit for that. Opponent's gonna swing in with everything, apparently. Do you want to sacrifice? You're gonna... Okay, I'm going to block the gut to kill it. We're probably dead on our turn. Maybe? Okay. Let's... So how do we win this? We could kill off the... We could kill off Minsk and Boo and play defense, but I don't think that's going to keep us alive. Let's go ahead and get out Egrix here. Let's put the Swiftfoot boots on Egrix. I'm going to swing in to kill off Minsk and Boo. Do we swing in with the Preacher? If we swung in with the Preacher, we can create another vampire token, which is good. More lifelink.
I need a strong potion.
Well, we could get out a Wormcoil Serpent. We'll be down to 2 life, but I think it's probably worth it. That gives us the blocker that we needed. We're playing a very dangerous game with our opponent here, but if we can survive 1 turn, I think we'll be in good shape. Having a big lifelink blocker like Wormcoil Serpent is huge. And having those vampire tokens are going to help us block those skeleton tokens with Menace. Our opponent leaving Slimefoot and Squee in the graveyard without any tokens is an interesting move. I assumed he had a reanimate or something like that to bring him back, necromancy, but maybe not. Our opponent has 1 card left in hand. And I think our opponent may have given up. Getting out Egrix, our commander, and using his ability to... Okay, so our opponent is still there. Let's go ahead and swing in. With several of our creatures here, we're going to gain some life back as the goal. And our opponent is roping us. Our opponent's still clearly there. I don't know what he's doing. Let's attack in with all three of these. And that is enough to win the game. We came back from 2 life. We're going to gain 10 life, create another vampire token, be able to cast a ton of cards off the top of our deck, maybe get out Shieldred as a blocker. But yeah, that was a very interesting Slimefoot and Squee build. Very aggressive, but the lifelink and our commander's ability to cast cards off the top of our deck won the game. So good game. Our next game is against General Crete. So this is probably a goblin build more than likely. This hand is a little slow, but we do have some lifelink and we get to go first. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Let's go ahead and put down, I'm just going to put it down tapped. We have to be very mindful of our life total against a mono red deck. Okay, so he's got a Restless Lackey here. Let's go ahead and get out the Overlord, get that ticking. It'll mill some cards, which will be great for us because we'll be able to cast our Beargoyf. Was this a 2/2? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, our opponent's going to just hit us in the face, I guess. Let's go ahead. I'm actually going to ramp here because I want to keep up the cut down against our opponent. In case he casts his commander. Instead, our opponent's going to cast a Bone Crusher Giant. Perfectly fine. I'm just going to go ahead and kill off the Restless Lackey because if he gets out his commander next turn... We didn't draw the land we needed. I'm going to go ahead and get out the Gifted Aetherborn. Beargoyf is still a little weak. Because of all the direct damage mono red can do. Okay, our opponent's gonna just kill off the Gifted Aetherborn. Swing in. You're gonna get your commander. That our opponent's just gonna create a ton of goblin tokens. All right. What we really need is we need one more land to stay alive, to wipe the board. So I'm going to do kind of a risky move here. We're going to have Ash. Oh, just what we needed. Okay. This swamp is probably the one to exile. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take some serious damage this turn. But I think it's if we can survive, I think it's going to be worth it. because what we're going to do is cast Blood on the Snow, get back the Gifted Etherborn, and have the Overlord and the Bale Merc come onto the battlefield as well. The only thing that worries me is what our life total is going to look like at the end of this turn. Hopefully it's not too low. Opponent has his commander. Opponent's just going for all-out aggression. Okay. We're down to 8. Gets out another goblin, deals another damage. We're down to 7. Let's go ahead and cast Blood on the Snow here. And now I'm going to go ahead and create some blockers for us. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill off. I don't really want to discard these, but I'm gonna go ahead and kill off the General Crete to be mana efficient. Yeah, and that's going to be enough. On our turn, what we're going to do is get out the Wormcoil's engine or Egrix, who both have lifelink. Ashiok's going to get us another card. And again, I've mentioned this before in other videos. When you're fighting a mono red deck, the key is to keep your life total as high as possible. If you can make it long enough in the game, mono red decks are going to be very fast, aggressive, try to kill you as quickly as possible. But if you can make it through multiple turns of the game and start to gain some power and powerful creatures, mono red just kind of falls apart. So that was a really good game. Thank you, my friends, for watching another one of my videos. This one featuring Egrix, the Bile Bulwark. Egrix is a lot of fun. It's a fun commander. It's good to be able to cast cards off the top of your library while gaining life. And having that life link and death touch means that whatever your opponent does decide to block Egrix with is probably going to die. I would put Egrix at probably a low B as far as power level goes, and I would say that the matchups that you get are across the board and pretty diverse in nature. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave a comment talking about Egrix or another commander you'd like me to look into, or your thoughts on the upcoming Avatar set. I don't really care as long as I talk to you, part of the Magic community. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.